Tullamore. Adrian Eames describes the action.
Kildare and Laois meet for the 32nd time in Championship football, and for this, Kildare's third game of the campaign, Kieran McGeeney makes one change to the side that started against Wexford. Mikey Conway returns to defence. Emmett Bolton moves to cornerback. Andrew McLaughlin is the player to make way. There were some concerns over the fitness of Eamon Callaghan, but he came through a training session on Thursday and takes his place in attack. Laois have made one late change. Billy Sheehan comes in for Peter O'Leary. Porrick Clancy was superb against Louth a fortnight ago. Laois will need another big display from the Timahoe man this evening, and Laois followers will also be looking for a greater scoring return from their talented inside forward line of Tierney, Munnelly and Kingston. David Coldrick from Meath in charge at the whistle this evening. Well, a great rivalry between Kildare and Laois down through the years. Laois in the Leinster semi-finals for the 7th year in a row. Kildare in the last 4 for the first time since 2005. And a late change on the Laois team with the call-up of Billy Sheehan. The mind games continuing right to the off. Here's Porrick Clancy. Goes without saying that duel with Dermot Earley in the centre of midfield will be pivotal to the outcome of this contest. And Earley, with a late challenge, earns a free for Laois, who are starting very positively here. Ross Munnelly's ball in, and a free in is awarded. And a chance for Laois to draw first blood here at O'Connor Park in Tullamore. And he pops it over the bar. The first score of the game goes the way of Laois. Oh, that's the kind of start they would have hoped for. And Laois doing well in and around the middle in the early stages of this game. Here's Billy Sheehan. Has support from Bruno McCormick. Oh, that would be a terrific score if he lands it. Oh, that's an inspirational score for Laois from Bruno McCormick. They are off to a flyer of a start here in Tullamore. Fed by Billy Sheehan off the outside of the left boot, over the bar. Brilliant score. Broken down by Porrick Clancy, but it breaks in favour of Kildare. And it's Morgan O'Flaherty who's on the burst. Angled ball across field. Now here's a chance. Oh, a chance of a goal. It is a goal! Brilliantly finished by Alan Smith to the back of the net. He has scored in each of Kildare's championship games to date, and he made no mistake. Kieran McGeeney punches the air. Mikey Conway feeding it to Morgan O'Flaherty. Terrific angle ball. And Smith, well, he was composure personified, and he rifled it into the roof of the net. Here's Porrick Clancy out the outside of the right boot. Ah, that's a fine point from Porrick Clancy. A goal and 3 points against Louth the last day. And he has registered his first score of the evening. For Morgan O'Flaherty, acres of room. Under no pressure, Billy Sheehan just standing off him. Ball down the line. Looking for Rolly Sweeney, and Sweeney off his right boot. As he hit the mark, he has. That's a fine score. Really, really well taken score. Plenty of curl on it, picking up possession and driving away from Darren Rooney. And he picked off his point with some aplomb. And once again they rise, and it's batted down by Dermot Earley. Very, very fine player, as he's proving once again here this evening. Now John Doyle. Doyle trying to get the better of Cathal Ryan. So Johnny Doyle trying to create the space to get in the shot. He lays it off to Ronan Sweeney. Kildare trying to create the space to get in the shot, and in the end they do. And they've landed the score. And it's their talisman, Dermot Earley, who edges them in front here. The ball popped back and popped over the bar brilliantly by Dermot Earley. And this is Porrick O'Neill with acres of room to run into. Plenty of time to get his shot away. And off the upright. A nice break here for Kildare. And it's with Alan Smith. Lays it back to Kavanagh. And Kavanagh left-footed and over the bar. Great score for Kildare. And it's James Kavanagh, 1-3 the last day. And a brilliantly taken score. With the Laois marking very, very loose. The shot off the upright from Porrick O'Neill. And Smith reacted very, very quickly, fed it back to James Kavanagh, and he just swept it over the bar. And Johnny Doyle coming very deep, feeds it out left to Mikey Conway, who's in oceans of room, skips away from Darren Rooney, and now an angle ball with the outside of the boot. Clever play from Kildare. Will there be an end product? It's with Eamon Callaghan off his right boot this time. And it's in and over the bar. Excellent score from Eamon Callaghan. Well, the Kildare followers, the Lily Whites, are enjoying this. He took his time, bided his time, and off his right boot over the bar. Angle ball looking for Johnny Doyle to latch onto it. Doyle trying to get away from Cathal Ryan off his right boot from Johnny Doyle and over the bar. Good start to the second half for the Lily Whites and for John Doyle. His third point of the game and his first from play, away from Cathal Ryan onto his right and over the bar. Kildare leading 111 to 6 points, and they're on the attack once again. Brian Flanagan's ball dropping around the 20-metre line, and the angle ball in, chance of a goal here for Johnny Doyle. He tees it up and in the back of the net, and Kildare have their second goal, and it's scored by James Kavanagh. Well, it's hard to see Laois coming back from this. Well worked. Alan Smith latching onto it here, spotting Johnny Doyle in acres of room, and really it was an easy goal in the end for James Kavanagh. Well, the Kildare fans are really enjoying this at the moment. And it's Emmett Bolton who's surging forward. Brian Flanagan had continued his run, and James Kavanagh is in acres of room here. Plenty of time to pick off his point. And it's tipped over in the end. The Kildare are absolutely on fire at the moment. Paul Grimley and Ciara McGeeney deep in conversation in the Kildare dugout. Corey Clancy tossing that one downfield. Now perhaps a chance for something here. It's Ross Munnelly through on goal. Oh, terrific block. And Munnelly is denied a near certain goal. Well, they just don't give up. And as Mikey Conway, who made the block, Munnelly through on goal. But after all of that, it is a 45 to be taken by MJ Tierney. High hanging one. Again trying to manufacture a goal. And look who's back there on the goal line. You know who. Dermot Early. In the end, Kildare haven't managed to work it clear, and Laois coming looking for something here. And again another block going in. But it really is all bodies on the line as far as Kildare are concerned. And in the end, Laois go for the point. And it sails over the bar. And Dermot Early and co really playing right to the end. Ger Redden with the point, ball laid back, and he went for goal on the centre half back, showing the forwards really how it's done. Kick out comes from Tom Corley. Oh, and Laois have coughed it up once again. Kavanagh onto it. Has support from Pádraig O'Neill. O'Neill bearing down in goal. O'Neill with a chance of a point. O'Neill gets his point. Well, they're absolutely flying it, just tearing through. Possession turned over, O'Neill latching onto it, got the return from James Kavanagh, and he was away, and he had one thing on his mind, and he got his point in the end. Noel Donnelly. And again, it's another wasted pass. Wayward, really, and it's mopped up by Brian Flanagan, and now Dermot Early is onto it. He's had another fine game. Acres of room here now for James Kavanagh, and Laois could be in real trouble. They're outnumbered. It's Kavanagh, chance of a goal. It's a miss in the end, off the woodwork. Well, they had a real numerical advantage here. And Kildare with Carl Ennis. Now John Doyle, great catch by John Doyle, trying to get away from his man, and he was held back. And Doyle wins a free for his side. Great leap from John Doyle, and earns the free of Cathal Ryan. Well, he's been deadly accurate in terms of his free taking, and Doyle, right-footed, just chips it over the bar, and it's another point for Kildare. And the full-time whistle sounds at O'Connor Park in Tullamore. And Kildare looked a little shaky early on, but Alan Smith's goal after 9 minutes settled them down. They eventually got on top in and around the midfield area and pulled away to win very, very comfortably in the end. Kildare heading for the Leinster football final on the 12th of July. An emphatic win for Ciara Magenie's Kildare. Kildare 2 goals and 18 points. Laois 9 points.
The goal our lads didn't respond to it. Normally when a team gets a goal against you, sometimes you make an attack and get a score, but Kildare actually were the ones who built on their own goal there tonight, and so it's something we're going to have to look at, but disappointed.
We were sluggish at the start, but we're lucky in a couple of instances too. We got goals at the right time and we're able to sort of get the run of them, and even at the beginning of the second half, we probably got 1 or 2 scores that sort of dampen things down for them, but Laois, are a good team and a strong team sort of coming forward, and we were just able to get the tackles in before they built momentum, so happy enough with that.
Kevin, he's every reason to be happy, but a bit like the Dubs, was it too easy a game going into the final?
Well, not quite as easy as the Dublin one. Now, there was they got a bit of a test for the opening quarter, maybe even into the opening half, but they reacted brilliantly to the Laois lead. Got a bit of a break with the Smith goal. The pass there, the shot for a point that landed in his paws, and great finish. I thought they were very impressive. They've built on what we've seen now in the league and the early rounds of the championship, and incrementally they're getting better, they're getting stronger, and we look at all that later on, but they are certainly becoming a very decent package.
The goals, Tommy, win games.
Yeah, and Kildare started very badly, and Laois were piling through them. I think they were 3 to 4 points up after the first 7 or 8 minutes. And, the ball was knocked down by Dermot Early, which is a tactic they used all day. Now, you picture Kildare are actually 3 or 4 points behind, haven't really got into the game. And they poured men forward, so they showed great belief in themselves to get back into the game. Now, this is a fantastic goal, albeit you'd question maybe the defending on it, but he took it awful well. And again, watch the tip down again by the full forward. Lovely hand pass down. Alan Smith finds John Doyle very, very well. And John Doyle did the unselfish thing. You'd expect a player John Doyle's experience to do that. I'm very impressed with Kildare. I think we're going to have a cracking Leinster final, because I think Kildare have a team built for Croke Park. Big men, very mobile. And, I think we're going to have an enjoyable day out.
All right. Tommy points out the strength in attack, but there was more to it than that impressed you, Darren.
There was, I suppose, much like Dublin, they addressed the big question they had to answer about shooting. Kildare, coming out of the Wexford game, were very disappointed with their tackling. The free count against them that particular day was 27 versus 8, and they actually got referee Cormac Riley in to interpret the tackle a bit better. And here we see them just tackling. I suppose it might be a bit simplistic to say it was a feature of all the Armagh teams, but it is like watching Armagh here in the tackle, the strong hand, the disciplined hand. They won't tackle if they don't think they have a chance of flicking the ball away. Now, we're all saying there's no such thing as a tackle in Gaelic football, but if you get the hand in, if you use the right tackling hand near the man, they're doing it all very, very disciplined. You couldn't pick out a free there. It's very hard to give a free against them. In any of those instances, where in the previous match, the ref was giving frees against them, there is no free there. It's a very disciplined tackle, and it's something they've improved on no end.
Makes a Leinster final to savour, Kevin, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. And, Tommy made reference to the mobility, the pace, the power that they're going to bring. They're also bringing teams now with fairly good scoring records as well, as we've seen this weekend. And full house. It's going to be a Leinster final that has one big dividend for the winner. They are going to be tested. I have no doubt about that. Whoever comes out of Leinster will have had one serious match, and that will be this year's Leinster final, I'm sure of it.
I mean, Kildare 6 forward scored in 2:16 days. That's a long time since you saw that from Kildare. And I just think, that both teams, Kildare and Dublin, will benefit enormously in this year's championship, being competitive against each other in the Leinster final. I think Kildare will do better if they actually won it. Then maybe Dublin, I think they would like to win it, but I still think they have their eye on the bank holiday weekend to be competitive at that stage. And I'm just looking forward to it now. I think it's going to be a great day out.
Who do you fancy in it, Darren?
Well, I suppose Dublin are still the form team, and it's up to them to control the tempo of the game as well. It's very hard. It's very hard to know when you're looking at games in provincial venues versus games in Croke Park, because Croke Park tends to open up that bit more. Will Kildare get the hand in the tackle? Will they get as many tackles in against Dublin? Dublin will probably be a bit more powerfully built than some of the teams they've come up against up to now. It's Dublin's to lose without a shadow of a doubt, but it will be a very, very tight game, and it will produce a very strong Leinster champion. I think that'll be Dublin, and I think Leinster needs a strong champion going forward.
Okay.